Good morning. I wanted to make a video about the upgrades I did to my Ender 5 Plus. I haven't seen any of these upgrades on YouTube. So I thought I'd make a quick video showing you exactly what I did here. Okay, first thing first, I was having a lot of problems with the Z axis. Every time I'd start a new print, the Z was slightly different than from the print before, and I would have to adjust it every single time. So that being said, I changed the lead screws, the motors, anti-backlash nuts, and some aluminum stabilizers for the top so that they wouldn't wobble or have any free play in them. Okay, so I started with the motors. These are a bigger version of the motors that they had. I had to print a shim out of PETG, as you can see there, to get the motors a little higher off the tabletop. This is a number 8 lead screw, as opposed to the number 4 that they had on them. These are anti-backlash nuts that I installed, and here are the stabilizers for them. That was one of the upgrades that I did, and I have to show you on the software what to change in order to get these to work. So move that out of the way. Okay, first thing you have to do is go to configuration, and I have to switch printers here. It's on the Ender 3 right now. Okay, let's switch to Ender 5 Plus. It's connected. Now I have to go to configuration, printer config, and if you scroll down in the printer config, down to stepper X, stepper Y, stepper Z, this rotation distance setting right there, rotation distance is normally set to 4. You have to change that value to 8 in order to get it to work. So this will be a 4 when you open the file. If afterwards you save and restart, and then it will print with the new lead screws. So that's more or less all I had to do for that, to get them to work. The bed is a little messed up right now, but that's okay. I'm sort of in the process of building this printer, and I'm printing parts on it on the Ender 3, and that's why it's set to the Ender 3. Other upgrades I did to the printer, I put the H2 printhead on it from BQ, and that's it. I have a camera there so I can see what exactly it's doing when it starts printing. Cooling fan. There's the surface touch tool, and the filament is running from there. That is not quite finalized yet. I'm just in the process of changing things. Here is the other Z lead screw. I changed the way the bed is mounted. I printed my own brackets and mounted the bed slightly higher. I insulated the entire bed. I haven't put these on yet, and that's what that is all about. It will more or less show me if the screws are lining up the same way. I haven't added these because I just finished the upgrade. The filament is going to be running out of... The filament is going to be running out of this thing here. And what this is it's a heater dryer, but it's just a heater more or less. It will warm up the filament, and let it spool out the top. I'm just finished printing the parts for that. It's not quite done yet, and here is the humidity and temperature outside. That's the one for inside. This is the controller for this warmer dryer. It works. I can plug it all in. I'm going to be drying the filament inside this vacuum chamber, which is heated as well, and I put a video up of that already. I will plug this in and show you guys how this all works. It plugs in right over here. That's the plug-in port. Let me wake that up. And there it is. So I'll plug that in here. And let's see. Put this camera on. Okay, there it is. It's turned on. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but okay, 6 hours. Okay, 6 hours. Celsius, and we're going to be running at 55, and the temperature is slowly coming up. Let's see. Open this up. Obviously, I can't, this is where the calcium chloride goes. It goes right into there. This fits in over top, and the water gets in there, sits in here, and this is getting nice and warm now. There it is. That's the heating pad. The filament will be dispensed through here. I have to put a plug in here that I just printed. It will have this tubing going through it and right to the printer head where that one is right now. And yeah, so it's getting nice and warm. I'm not sure why it's only showing 19 degrees. But that is the temperature we're going to be running to, is 55 degrees C. For 6 hours. Let's see. I'm going to put the cover back on, and that way we can tell what the thermometer is doing. Okay, so that is what the printer filament is going to be coming out of, and it's starting to warm up, as you can see. It's flickering between 1920, and it'll slowly get up to about 55 degrees. It's all insulated, and then the humidity inside will stop dropping. I did print new holders for those thermometers because I didn't leave gaps here. Let me put it here. You can probably see it better in the light. Here are the new covers that I printed for the thermometers that will allow, here's holes so they can pick everything up. This is for the one inside, and this is for the one on the outside. This is a plug in case I decide to use bottom feed, but as you can see, the temperature is slowly coming up in there, and I don't have any calcium chloride in there, but it will slowly, or it should, take the moisture out once I get these installed, so it can actually be seen. But it is getting warmer in there, and this is up to 20 degrees now. This is up to 21 degrees, but it's the same as the room temperature at the moment. I can feel that it is getting warm in there. So I will set this aside, and I will come back to that. But there it is. And I don't know why that's going up to... I guess the moisture is coming out of it because there's probably quite a bit in there. And I have it all insulated. It's up to 21 degrees C at the moment. I put a bigger motor on that axis as well. That used to be the motor that used to run the feed for the filament before I installed this print head. I've got rails on all sides of the printer. These are nice Huey rails from Japan. They're on both sides, stoppers. I finally got everything working as need be. Let me see now. This was yesterday's test print, the cube. There it is. Some sides are nice, but this is without doing anything to the printer yet. I haven't run any of the calibrations or anything. This was the first print, a little banshee. I suppose it's okay, but you know, it'll get better as I calibrate everything. Let's see, I had to turn down the stepper motors. I've got this one running at 800 millivolts as the manual wanted. 0.8. The y-axis I have running at 1 volt. The motor right back there. This one is running at about 1.5, and it doesn't seem to get warm, but the y-axis motor was getting quite warm. These are also running at about 1.5 between the two of them. There's the Creality controller. I have the controller outside because this will be an encased printer. Let's see what's going on here. And yeah, for some reason the humidity is going up, but I'm sure that's because I have no calcium chloride in it, and all the humidity has been sort of, it's an airtight container, so all the humidity right now is kind of, I'm assuming, floating around in there because it's only 40 on the outside here. But again, I haven't installed the new mounts for the thermometer and humidistat, and it's up to 22 degrees at the moment inside there, and it shouldn't be getting warm on the outside, but the inside will be getting warm. And I printed all the parts for this filament dispenser. It allows you to wrap up your filament, and then you can stop it where, you know, for the printer to take the filament from there. so it has a break in the gears. And I downloaded all the parts for this from Thingiverse. It's a filament dispenser, but I modified it quite a bit with what you've seen. So there it is. There is the whole printer. I've got lights around it. There is going to be a camera mounted somewhere up here because I will have this completely sealed system. As far as upgrades so far, that's all I've got. The Z was probably the most interesting to do because I didn't find any videos on how to upgrade Z. And the lead screws that I had on it, you could not get any backlash nuts for them as far as I could see. I don't know where you'd go about getting those. So I modified the system. These Z screws were a lot longer. I had to cut them myself to size. Everything seems to be working good so far. I am assuming it will cut down my print area. Not by much more than it would originally printed, but I will figure that out as I start printing and adjust that on Cura. I put aluminum brackets into every corner, every possible corner. There they are. So they're pretty much mounted everywhere. I am waiting for my extrusions to come that I will put here. Since I took the controller out, the controller will be sitting outside of the printer because I want to keep temperature control inside there. So that's going to be outside of the printer. Yeah, like I said, I did change a lot of the millivolt settings for the extruder and all the motors because the y-axis was getting especially warm, and I did not want that because I was very hard on the motor. It was getting quite hot. I did upgrade the main board in there to the quiet drivers. And let me get some of this stuff off. Sorry, I'm kind of in the middle of this build, so everything's everywhere. I took it out, I printed some feet for it, as you can see, and I did put a bigger fan in there to keep things cool. I will upgrade the power supply in there to a bigger fan. I haven't quite got there yet. It's the cover is right here, but I haven't installed it yet. Thought I would make a quick video about what I'm doing here with this 5 Plus. And let's take a look at this. Okay, well, the inside is at 62 degrees. I don't know why the humidity is going up quite yet, but I guess I will figure that out. For some reason, this should be, well, I guess it's not going to get lower. There's nothing there to grab the humidity, and this fiber board roll is probably full of moisture. It's 26 degrees Celsius in there. I'm assuming once I install the new the new holders for the thermometer and humidistat, things should change possibly a bit, but it is working nice. I mean, it should keep the filament warm and coming through the printer as I print, because I was going to print carbon fiber, nylon, and nylon filaments on this printer. And after getting it dry in the vacuum chamber, which is right over here, and it's also heated. I don't have the pump sitting on the desk here, and I don't have the variac that will control the temperature. Those videos will come later. The old board is right there, and I was debating on trying a Creality Sprite printhead, but decided not to. At the moment, I'm very familiar with the technology on these BQ H2, and it's been working good for me on my other printers, so that is what I'm going to go with. Anyways, there's the entire build so far. Kind of some updates for you here. Anti-backlash. Here is what the new feet look like. There is rubber under there. that attaches to these. It brought the build plate up a little higher, and being that the controller is no longer in the center of the printer, I can make it print a little more than what it was from the factory. So I will open that up. Everything else is more or less stock, and there's the sensor for the vibration that I haven't calibrated yet. I did have to move a lot of the X and Y sensors got moved, the switches here. You know, and I have new belts to put on this. Once I get everything done, I've got a nice 6mm belt, much better than what Creality gives you. I also put adjusters on both belts on X and Y axis. I made stoppers so that the rail can't slip off. And then these will be put on so I can tell if everything is lining up as should be. Haven't got those on yet, but it's been an interesting build, and I don't have a lot of time right now to work on things, so it's kind of slow and puttering along. But there it is. It's up to 29 degrees C, and for some reason the humidity is up to 68. I'll have to figure that out. It could be a broken, oh there it goes, 69. It could be a broken humidistat, like 69%, but at the same time, it's probably vaporizing all the water in there and off the roll, and there's nothing to grab it because there's no calcium chloride in there at the moment. And what I can do is, where do you get calcium chloride, you're probably thinking? Well, here's where I get the calcium chloride. Damp traps. You can either take out the beads and put them in a separate cup, or you can put this whole thing in there. It's just, this is kind of big and cumbersome. So normally I take it out, but I might put one of these inside here, or I might make print out a dish so I can get more filament in there at the same time. And that's what I was planning on doing with these. You know, that way, it's half the size, I can put 2 rolls in there at the same time. So that is the printer upgrade at the moment. And this is where I'm going with it. I also have to print a better way to manage all the wires coming out of the printer, because right now it's just kind of a big mess hanging out the side there. But I will print keepers for that. And once I get the tent over this thing, I bought a Creality, one of their tents, that's fireproof and that's insulated and will keep the temperature stable inside there. And let's take a look. This is showing 28. This is showing 30°C inside the container. So we know this is working, and I can tell because it's starting to get warm, which is nice. It's quite warm up here. But I can also turn the temperature down. It doesn't have to be cranked up all the way. So that's the update for now. And I do have to silicone this entire thing. That's what this silicone is for here. Because it does have spaces at the moment from where I mounted all the hardware together onto this plastic container. That is also, the heating pad is also insulated on the inside, so that also should be okay in there. Yeah, I don't know what else, how much more of an update I can give you on this, but so far so good. Mostly I'm hoping to keep the filament dry and coming out of this dry box, and we have some moisture here that's building up on the inside, 73%. So yeah, things are starting to dry out in there, and that's okay. That's kind of what I was after. Anyways, there it is. Thanks for watching, and I'll have more updates about my Ender 5 Plus build.